Shalom. How y'all doing today? Just a little sidebar about Christmas and New Year's. Thanks to my partner K-Dog, Kimo Brown out there in Marietta, Georgia, Cobb County, Georgia. He said I should explain things a little bit more, but I'm not trying to teach y'all anything. I'm just trying to give y'all information that you need, but I will be a little bit more explanatory, explain a little bit what I'm going on. Again, this is just a little something about Christmas and New Year's. So if y'all don't know anything about Christmas, New Year's, where it comes from. Christmas is the day of the birth of the sun. It's the birth of the sun. The Christmas tree, that evergreen tree, as you know, is in Jeremiah chapter 10, you verse 1 through 16. You go look that up. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go about being a pagan holiday or anything. You can look that up, Google pagan holidays. But I want to let you know where Christmas actually comes from. It's the birth of the sun. And today it wasn't too cloudy today, and usually this time of year is very cloudy. Well, if you're facing either east or west, let's say you're facing west and you're watching the sunset. Now, you're facing west, you're watching the sunset. If you notice, the sun will move to your left a little bit and it's going to set in the same spot 3 days. That's the story of Jonah. And that's the story of, matter of fact, I'm going to take you to Jonah. Let me read Jonah right quick. Jonah. For the sake of time, I'm not going to read the Messiah. You know, he did 3 days and 3 nights in the ground. And Jonah, I'm just going to read this quick. Jonah chapter 1, verse 17. Now Yahweh had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Okay, that's a prophecy for the Messiah. That's a prophecy. The Messiah's going to spend 3 days and 3 nights in the ground. Messiah came, and some people look at him as the ultimate, as that one sacrifice. Now again, when Messiah was on that cross or stake, it really doesn't matter what it is, what it was at this point. Right here. All these symbols, can you see those symbols on your camera? Those are the cross, the regular cross, the cross with a circle around. Those are all symbols of sun worship. Sun worship. And I want you to understand something that happened when the Messiah died. If you read this, no, let me go there. Let me go there. Let me show you where to go. So you can read this and have an understanding. Let me see. Okay, we're going to go here. Luke chapter 23, verse 44. That's Luke chapter 23, verse 44. And it was about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour. Now, when they started calculating their days, their hours, they started from the time the sun rise. 6 hours is 12 o'clock. The 9th hour is 3 o'clock. Now, the earth was completely dark from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We must understand something, that when the Messiah, where she was at, the Romans, they was into Mithraism. Mithra was the god of sun worship. If you study Mithraism, he held crosses in his hand, and he also looks him like the Statue of Liberty. People say Statue of Liberty is also Esther, is female, so it's really Statue of Liberty is a hermaphrodite. It's male and a female, but Mithra looks a lot like the Statue of Liberty. Okay, now, they were sacrificing, because they was pagans, they sacrificed people to the sun. So they put them on the crosses, and they would sacrifice them to the sun. Now, the Mashiach was the Son of the Most High. You're not finna sacrifice my son. That is a sacrifice for the world to the sun. So that's why from 12 o'clock noon to 3 o'clock, it was completely dark over the whole world. He is the sacrifice for the world. He's the ultimate sacrifice. He's the last sacrifice. That's what animal sacrifice is no longer necessary. He was the sacrifice. So therefore, you're not finna sacrifice my son to the sun. Now again, he spent 3 days in the ground. So anybody that worship the sun, look at the sun, start worshiping the sun. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to what's that? We're gonna go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. Before I go here. So now, he was sacrificed to the sun. Now again, if you study the sun, if you look west, as where the horizon looks, this time of year around Christmas, the sun is set in the same spot 3 times. It's 3 times in the same spot, and it's going to rise north again. That was the birth of the sun. And if you watch it in the summertime, it's going to set at its peak. In the summer, it's going to come back. And in the wintertime, it's going to set in the same spot 3 times, rise again. That's the birth of the sun, rising of the earth, rising back north towards the equator, and giving heat, bringing forth life. And that's why we have the Christmas tree, or the evergreen tree, because it's the only tree that stayed green all year round. When the sun died, they still had the strength and power of life. Okay, now, any pagan will understand what the sun is. The sun brought forth life. They didn't have electricity. They didn't have refrigerators, all that stuff. So they lived depend off the sun. The animals, everything depends off the sun, off the vegetation, and surviving, how much crops they saved, how much they worked, or they would make it through the winter, or have animals to help dig the ground up again for the next year. So therefore, that's where the tree comes from. That's why they chose the evergreen tree, because it lasts through the wintertime. And still stay green, so the strength before the sun rises to bring forth life. But by him doing 3 days in the ground, that sign would let all pagans know, and the sun would quickly dark, that he was the sun. That the Father created the heavens, created the earth, and what you're worshiping, that the heavens and the movements of the stars and the suns comes from the Father. And that's what he was letting them know. That all pagans know that I am the Son. And that's why that one Roman centurion was like, of course, I know this was the Son of God. Now, today is, what time is it? Look at the clock. You have the phone in your hand. What time is it? I don't know why. All right, it's 7:20. It's 7:20. 7:12. It's 7:12. It's supposed to be Saturday night. But actually, it's Sunday night. And I want to go there because when I talk about Christmas and what's going on, we have to understand the days. It is technically Saturday night. It's Sunday night. Our days start in the evening when the sun goes down. That's the beginning of a new day. I'm going to go there with you. First, I'm going to go to Psalms 55. We'll go to Psalms 55. Psalms 55. Give y'all some understanding. Psalms 55, this is quick. Read this Psalms 55. All right, Psalm 55, verse 17. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry loud, and he shall hear my voice. Evening, morning, and noon. You start the day off at evening. All right. You say, well, that doesn't mean anything, maybe? Let's go to Genesis. Genesis chapter 1. All right. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 5. And Elohim called the light, and the day and the darkness. The day and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning was the first day. Evening, morning, first day. All right. Let's go to verse 8. And Elohim called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning was the second day. Okay. Let's go to verse 13. And the evening and the morning was the third day. So at the sun drops, that's the beginning of a new day. And the reason why that is, the reason why you don't want to do our days at midnight, and I don't know why they start at midnight, but I say I had something evil about it, because why would you start the day in at midnight, come into the light, and go back into darkness? Now, take it there. Now, the day starts in the evening, and we move on to the day, we're in the light. And so the ends our day off in the light. We're not in darkness. It starts a new day, we go back into darkness, come out the darkness into the light. But why would you start your day in the middle of the night, come into the light, and turn your back on the light and go back into the darkness? What's in the darkness? Or the people who ain't seeing the light. So you control, manipulate, and that's the mindset and mind frame of this time frame that we have. Maybe wrong, but our day starts at night. So now it's Sunday. Okay, now I want to explain something to you as we go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. This is something just quick I want to do. Because a couple people had texted me Merry Christmas today, and I didn't like it. And I gave it to them. But here we go. Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Keep it holy. All right. 6 days shall thou work and do thy labor, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy Elohim. In that thou shalt do no work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor the maidservant, nor the cattle, nor strangers in thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heaven and the earth and the sea and all that it is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and kept it and hallowed it. Okay. Saturday was the Sabbath day that just passed. That's the fourth commandment that just passed was the Sabbath day. Now it's Sunday. Now we're gonna go to the first. We're gonna go to the first. Let's keep it holy. We're gonna go to the first three commandments. I'll go back to first chapter, and the Sabbath day. That's the fourth commandment. We're gonna go to Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt not have no other mighty ones before me, or no other Elohims, or no other gods. Okay. If you have a Christmas tree in your house, you just bow down to that Christmas tree and picked up that present. Santa Claus, he knows when you're good, knows when you're bad, knows when this, he knows it just like a God. And also, again, Christmas is the birth of the sun. The birth of the sun. Now, life is going to start back. And all you got to do is go outside. You can face east. If you face the sunrise, you watch the sunrise, it's because the sun's going to start moving to your left. If you watch the sunset, the sun's going to start moving to your right. You're going to look at the horizon and see that. And hopefully, it's not too cloudy, it's not raining, so you might be able to see it set in the same spot 3 times before it starts rising. But if not, just pay attention for the years to come. But you're going to start seeing as we get close to the summer, the sun is moving further and further to your right as you face the sunset. All right, there's no other mighty ones before me. So Christmas, New Year's, also, I'm going to tell you something about New Year's, because New Year's falls on Shabbat next week too, which is 7th. New Year's is the Roman god Janus. That's what January is named after Janus, the Roman god Janus. He was the god of interest and exits. So now, you have the worship of the sun, the birth of the sun gods. So that's you have no other mighty ones before me. So Christmas and New Year's automatically violates that first commandment. Second commandment, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that's in heaven above, that's in the earth beneath, or that's in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow thyself down to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh thy Elohim, am a jealous El, visiting iniquitous fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and serve mercy to thousands of those that love me and keep my commandments. All right. Now, you bow down to that tree and pick that present up. That's a violation of that commandment. It's Christmas. It's a day. It's for sun worship, for sun worshipers, and also the birth of the sun and all the sun gods. That's a violation of that commandment. If you go to church on a Sunday, that's the first day of the week. That's a violation of that commandment. Get there too. The Sabbath day is Saturday. You can Google it. I'm not going to go to any dictionary, any Google, any encyclopedia, let you know what day Saturday is and what day Sunday is. All right. Now let's go to the next commandment. All right. Thou shalt not take the name of thy Elohim in vain. Yahweh not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. And if you do strong concordance on vain, that means useless, idle, anything. If you say God or Lord, that's not a name, that's a title. So you're taking his name in vain. If you worship other idols, if you worship any other gods, you say names of other gods, you're taking his name in vain. So I just want you to let you know something. If you celebrated Christmas yesterday, you violate the first 4 commandments. Now those of us who have a hard time stealing and doing everything we got to do to get that money and go to do it, that's irrelevant. If you celebrated Christmas and you celebrate New Year's next Saturday, you're violating the first 4 commandments. Repent or die. That's Christmas. Like I told you, you can research it. It's the birth of the sun. You can look at the horizon. The sun sets 3 times in the same spot, rise again. That's where Christmas come from. The tree, it lasts through the winter time. January, the god Janus. It just quick let you know it's paganism. We're not pagans. It's the commandment. You can say the commandment was done away with, nailed to the cross with the Mashiach, who the Most High made the sun go dark during the most important part of the day, 3 o'clock, the hottest part of the day, so they know you're not going to sacrifice my son to the sun. That's why it might have been a cross, because they sacrificed people on the crosses to the sun. It was sun sacrifice to the sun gods. So it's not going to happen. That's why it went dark over the whole earth, not just over Israel, over the whole earth, from 12 noon to 3 o'clock, from the 6th hour to the 9th hour. You're not going to sacrifice my son, sacrifice the world to the sun. So now, therefore, if you celebrate Christmas this year, or you celebrate New Year's, it falls on the Shabbat, the Sabbath, and you're in violation of the first 4 commandments. Repent or die. All praise Most High Yah and the Son Yahshua HaMashiach, excuse me. Like I say, I pray for the president, because the Bible tells you to. I pray for the tribe of Yaqub. I pray for the glorious return, the glory of Israel and Mount Zion, which was the Garden of Eden. So we get there, thanks to Elder let me know that day too. But yeah, man, just get right. It's prepare to die. I don't know what else to say. I wanted to have this out before Christmas. I want another thing I want to do before Christmas, but I think this gonna lead me over into y'all willing. What's that? Finance in Babylon, which is next. So again, repent or die. Celebrate New Year's. You're in violation of the first 4 commandments. You go to church on Sunday, you're in violation of the 4th commandment. If you're supposed to convocate, matter of fact, let me go there. Leviticus chapter 23. These are our holidays, the days that we keep. I'm not gonna go through the whole Leviticus 23 now. Go with Leviticus 23. Remove the animal sacrifices. These are our holidays. These are the days we're supposed to keep. First part of Leviticus 23, though, is the commandment, the 4th commandment. Speak unto the children, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say to them concerning the feasts of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim as holy convocations. Convocations, even these are my feasts. 6 days shall you work, and shall be 6 days shall work. Oh, excuse me, I apologize. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 23, verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. Convocation means assembly, church. You shall do no work therein. It's the Sabbath of Yahweh in all your dwellings. If you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate New Year's, you're in a violation of the first 4 commandments. Repent or die. Shalom.